Hello and welcome to a brand new extra special episode of Tender Loving Care with your host, myself, Pauline, and the darling Kate. Kate and I have decided we cannot not discuss the latest show airing in the 90 Day Fiancé franchise, which is the original 90 Day Fiancé. As you probably know, our podcast, Tender Loving Care, which is available on all podcasting platforms, has a new episode each Wednesday. In that episode, we break down a show from the TLC and Discovery Plus network, past or present, and deep dive the utter bizarre chaos. On Fridays, our episodes are solely devoted to our love for Bravo. So we are covering all the current housewives. But today we've decided to do even more TLC and we concentrate purely on 90 Day Fiancé. Hi, Kate.
Hi, Pauline. I hope you're
Hey,
staying dry over there in LA.
I just about, guys, if you don't know, I'll discuss it a little bit more on the other episode that we're going to record right after this, which is our Wednesday episode. But LA has collapsed. LA had this warning for like 4 days about all this rain coming in, torrential rain, 6 inches. Everyone was like, I don't know. And officially, it has collapsed. The streets are flooded. Cars are just going off the side of the roads. There are potholes the size of elephants in the middle of like La Cienega and Melrose. It's insanity. This place is Kookadook. It's Kookadook. So I was saying to you, Kate, I have not left the house. I didn't leave the house at all yesterday on Sunday. We're recording this Monday night. I didn't leave the house at all today, Monday. So I'm a little bit stir crazy. I have been wandering the halls of my house like a ghost. Like, what was it in the hours? You know, Nicole Kidman going from room to room with the keys. That's what I've been like. But I'm back. But luckily, there was something to celebrate yesterday, Kate, because it was Sunday. I'm just trying to readjust myself here. It was Sunday. And of course, we had the new episode of 90 Day Fiancé, which we're going to discuss. But we also welcome back somebody very, very dear to me. Someone that I would sacrifice family and friends for in a heartbeat if they asked me, not a question. And that's Mr. Larry David. He was back with the final season of Curb Your Enthusiasm. The first episode, season 12. I can't believe he's done 12 seasons. Aired last night. This is the final season for Larry. And I watched it and I'm just so in love with that man. Have you had a chance to see it?
No, I saw that being advertised. I think I was online somewhere and it popped up and I was like, wait. I didn't realize it was, final season and all that.
They started that show in 2000. That show's been going for 24 years. What?
Wild. That's
I know.
A long time to have the same project. It's incredible.
And it's because it's Larry. Because it's Larry. He can do anything always. So yesterday was Larry Day for me as I was, being like the hours in the house and Grey Gardens in the house and wandering around in my bathrobe. I was just watching Larry. And I watched some Seinfeld as well, just to really get in the whole mood of that genius. So it was good.
That's wonderful.
Yeah. So there's a lot going on this week for us, Kate, for 90 Day, because we're going to cover our 90 Day Fiancé and then our Wheel of Shame also spun 90 Day Fiancé, the single life. But we're going to discuss that in our next episode. So guys, listen to tomorrow's episode coming out tomorrow, Wednesday, for 90 Day Fiancé, the single life. But Kate and I have a lot of thoughts, especially about an old favorite that has returned.
That curly-haired, piercing blue-eyed angel.
She is an angel. She's
artist.
She's an art. She is an artist sent from below. I mean, above. I just want to live in that delusion. But we're not going to discuss Natalie right now. Okay.
Yeah.
We have to get on to 90 Day Fiancé and see if anybody actually got married. Because apparently this show is all about them getting married, but no one's got married yet, apart from that odd girl that couldn't speak with her mouth properly fully open. So we're on episode 16.
It's that point of the season where it feels that we've been watching this for 5 years. It feels like I didn't know anything before this.
I know nothing after. And I know nothing while I'm watching it. I know, 16K. This is absurd. Someone needs to calm down over at TLC because this shouldn't be 16 episodes in. It's called With This Ring I Thee Wed. So which couple do you want to start with? We got everyone apart from Nikki and my boyfriend Justin. So who would you like
Gino
to
and
go ahead?
Jasmine.
Let's start with
Okay.
these two.
Not a ton of notes on these two this week,
Mm.
but first off, we see them going wedding dress shopping. That's right. Gino's going to spend more money than the
Mm.
5K he sent her before that she then spent on her lumpy butt. And
Absolutely.
she's trying things on. It's quite staged. It's like, oh, this one's so beautiful. It's 7K. And then the employee comes out, well, what about this one? And she tries it on, and Jasmine looks incredible.
Mm.
And
Oh, she
they
does.
finally settle on a $2,000 wedding dress.
Right, because he said his budget was 1,000. Yeah, like you said, it was all very staged. We knew it was
Yeah.
coming. It was like blah blah. As I'm watching it, and they're getting along, and she's appreciating Gina and all of this, I wrote in my notes, all the secrets are out, aren't they? Because the last secret was that she got money that we know of, that she got money for the butt from her
Mm-hmm.
ex. So all the secrets are out, Kate.
It's all out on the table, the
Wow,
operating
wow,
table.
exactement.
So
You know,
they seem good.
they seem good. They seem the most functional and happiest couple at 90 Day Fiance. And
Never
that's saying
thought I would
something.
say that. Yeah.
The thing that annoyed me in this whole scene is how does somebody at, what is he, 54, 55 years old, not know how to open a bottle of champagne? That man's, and I mean, I don't know if we can call it champagne, sparkling wine, whatever it was, him trying to open that bottle of champagne in that wedding dress store, infuriate. How does someone not figure it out by 55 years old how to open a champagne?
Because he's been
Anyway.
drinking natty ice probably his whole
Oh God.
life.
Oh God. I
PBR.
can't. Oh
Oh,
God.
yeah, that was
Buzzballs.
upsetting.
Yeah. She said that, spending it. I love this quote. She was like, Gino, Gino, you invest in my happiness.
She knows how to spin it. Yeah.
I love that spin. I'm going to use that line more often. I really am. I don't want to pay my rent. Just invest in my happiness and pay my rent.
Yeah.
They go to check out wedding venues in Michigan, and there's actually
Mhm.
sun in Michigan. And so she's like, I want it to be like this all the time. And they go and see venues, and I guess they did see one place I think that she really liked, and then he really liked, and then they went outside and they discussed the family things. I mean, they're running out of things because they don't have drama anymore. So she's just still on about the family, and I need them to love me, and I need them to be kind to me, and they haven't been kind to me, Juno. Um, so that happens, and they go for dinner with the family, and it's edited to make it look as though there's going to be a fight, but there isn't, and they all kind of get along, and that's about it for these two. And they get married
Yeah.
next week.
Yeah. Everything's
Yeah.
hunky dory. I really think that she hasn't actually been fighting with his family for a long time.
Mm,
It seems
yeah.
like they've been actually been cool for
Yeah.
months.
Yeah.
Because they were, laughing, and I mean, they seemed just great. So
Yeah.
good for them, I guess.
They seem fine.
Yeah.
Take us to who's next?
Uh, Sam and Citra.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's do Sam and Citra. Um, this is a big day because we find out that Sam is going to be joining the Islamic faith. So he's going to have his ceremony and they're going to get married. So it's a
Right.
lot going on in one day. We see them like organizing for the wedding that they're going to have and the reception. And he's talking about sex. And it's so funny. Citrus is really strange, like mix of everything. She'll talk about sex like really openly, like blue balls, and I wonder if it's gonna hurt, and like all of this stuff. But she's also like comes across as, obviously she's a virgin and she's supposed to be like super super bashful, but she's like not at all. She seems like sexually confident and knowledgeable, yet she's supposed to be
Well,
is a virgin.
yeah.
I don't know, it was really interesting the way she speaks. I was like, huh.
Yeah, it's like she's cool with it.
Yeah.
She did talk about being a little bit nervous, like she doesn't know if it's
Yeah.
going to hurt or something, but
That's how
she's
you and I feel about our wedding night, Kate, obviously, because we'll
right.
just we're so it'll be
I
be a big day for us. It'll be a
Yeah,
big day
I
for
I
us.
worry about it
I worry
all
about
the
it a
time.
lot. Yeah.
Um so she's kind of talks about that, but yeah, you're right. She seems totally fine with the stuff he's saying. She thinks it's
Mm,
funny how he's talking about his
mm,
blue balls and all that.
mhm.
And I mean, at this point, he has OnlyFans, so I guess she is cool with
Now,
everything.
listen, what is the deal? Because everybody's blown up about him on OnlyFans, blah, blah, blah. But like you had said yourself, there are tons of people, especially that are in the reality world, that are on OnlyFans that aren't half naked or completely naked or doing sexual acts. They're doing just like cookery shows or something like that. Do we actually know what he's doing?
I think that maybe I might have to be an investigative reporter
Thank you
and
so
just pay
much.
the $5 and
Thank you so
see,
much.
because I'm kind of tired of not knowing,
I
honestly.
know. Listen, guys, if Kate is going to spend $5 to
Or it's
see,
14. I actually
oh,
looked, it's
whoa,
14.
listen,
So
if
big spending.
Kate's going to spend $14 to look at Sam from Missouri's OnlyFans, you know what's coming. I think you guys can afford $5 to join our Patreon. Go to patreon.com/Tender Loving Care podcast. And for $5 a month, you get 2 extra shows a month from us. Thank you very much, Kate.
I'm doing a service. I'll save all of your eyeballs.
Yep, it's needed. I do want to know. I do want to know.
I did see leaked photos of Rob's OnlyFans, unfortunately, but
Oh, God.
anyway, so
Mm.
then yeah, all this sex talk, and then we have the scene at the mosque. So
Mm.
he goes there actually with Citra's dad before the ceremony, right? To
Yeah,
sort of just have that moment. And he's like, thank God or Allah
I know.
that he
Yeah.
accepts me. Ha ha ha. Like, I don't know. It's just like he's doing it because he wants to get married and have sex, in my opinion. That's what it
Well, he
seems
wants to
like. He
get.
doesn't
I mean, he
care.
does want to marry her. It's not
True.
just. It's not just sex. That's a great thing that comes part with it. But he has deep affection for her, and I do believe she's deep affection for him. I just
Right.
think taking on a religion is so massive if you're going to do it properly.
Yeah.
It's life altering. It changes everything that you ever knew or believed if you're doing it properly and believing in it. So, woo, it's a lot. But I just wrote one line. I've said it before. I'll say it again. I love Sam's dad. I love Sam's dad so
Oh, he's
much.
lovely. Yeah,
He
I
came to the
agree.
mosque. He said, I know what it's like not to be supported. Very worried about his health. Did you see the inflammation in his hand? He had one hand in like a bandaged thing. The other hand was so inflamed and
Mm,
swollen. Yeah, I was really
I
worried
didn't
about his
see that.
health. Yeah. But he came and yeah, like I say, I love Sam's dad. It was great that because I'm always itching when we see Sam's dad to hopefully get um some of his beliefs counted into all of this, which also sort of centers around aliens and UFOs. So he did mention that, I'm here to see lots of other people. He's like, have lots of different beliefs. And that's why I know for a fact that all these gods come from an extraterrestrial place, and it was all planted. And I was like, let him go, just let him. The producer should have been like, keep it running, keep it running. Like I wanted to
More,
hear
more,
him
more,
go,
more.
but
Yeah.
unfortunately, they're not giving him enough airtime. But those sisters, by the way, are such bitches. Sam had said before they're nasty, and you could see they're nasty little things, those sisters. They were laughing at Sam and stuff like that.
Uh,
But he goes through his ceremony and they're married. And Citra's dad was there and crying and very happy. And then I think the next episode we're gonna see them have the traditional American traditional ceremony. And then hopefully we will see Sam's brother that ends up with Citra's sister.
need to see that
Have
interaction.
to.
That would make it worth the wait.
Mm.
And I hope his mom shows up for him at
She
the
does. We
other.
saw it. They ruined it. We saw her come in.
Oh,
Yeah, she was
okay.
wearing a dress and some nice white little chinos underneath the dress. Like pedal. I read an article yesterday about how pedal pushers, the name of that they used, pedal pushers, are coming back. Bella Hadid was wearing pedal pushers, 3/4 length.
Oh, like capris?
Like they're capris, but they're not. It was like early 2000s. There was dress and leggings. This
Mm-hmm.
is like dress and then like pedal. They call them pedal pushers. They're like, but at the knee, more like at
Right.
the knee. They're coming back, everyone. So buckle up.
I will not
No,
be partaking in that.
no, 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 no.
They didn't look good on me in the 90s and they won't look good now.
Hope.
S- Let's see
Who's
who
next? We've done
else.
Gino. See, we're kind of flying through this today, guys, because these really are wrap up episodes right now. Everyone's going to get married next week, and that's kind of going to be the end of it. So Sam and Citra, we've done Gino and Jasmine. Oh, can we do Ashley? Please, can we do
Yes,
Ashley?
yes. She didn't have a lot this episode,
Mm.
but
But what she gives us is so good. And I just want to see like a caricature, like Drunk Drawn does all the caricatures like of Ashley
Mhm.
with her big coffee cup. She is never as you know, guys, and we get DMs about it, we love our financials. I want the financials of how much Ashley spends on coffee like a week, because she's
Oh yeah.
never not with her Starbuckies. She
she's
loves her
she's
Starbuckies.
racking up those star points. She has a
Woo!
lot of free Starbucks cups in her
She
house.
she does. It is just constant. And God bless her. I love it when I see her with the big extra foam, extra whip, XXL. Like I
It's the best. It's the best. So
good.
so Ashley has found out that there is a threat of a hurricane in Florida on her wedding day, and she is freaking out. She says that she did not even think about this being an issue because she's
Sure.
not from Florida. And I guess, this didn't come up in any of her readings or anything. She did not see this coming. She
This
doesn't
big
know.
She says she has a wedding planner. How did this goddamn wedding planner not know it was hurricane season in Florida? I don't know about that either.
Because they probably weren't getting much business and they were like, all right,
Yeah,
let's do it.
so bizarre. So we see them kind of all waking up. They all looked hungover as shit from the night before. I wish we could have had a check in on the guy that never made it to the strip club. Remember, they mentioned their friend. They were like, "Yeah, he never made it." I want to know how he was doing that day after.
Oh God.
Um, and so they're all getting ready. She seems pretty good. She's doing well, walking around with a coffee. And they said, let's do a video chat with Manuel's mum. So they did that. And she was very happy to be included. And Manuel's obviously upset because he doesn't have his family, though. He doesn't have his mum. He doesn't have his children. So they do this phone call, which I think goes very well. And then we have Ashley speaking about, we have to get married because in perfect Ashley style, there's one day left before his visa runs out. I mean, it's beautiful work, Ashley. Always running late, always last minute. I really appreciated it.
That is so stressful. Why not plan it
Why?
for
Why?
with a month
One
left or
day.
something or a
One
week?
day. I know. And she says we have to do it as well because it's full moon in Pisces. I'm like, Ashley, there is so that's why she left it to the last minute, because it had to be the full moon in Pisces, and it just so they had one. She'd planned it all
Right.
so well,
Right.
except the fact there's a hurricane coming through because it's hurricane season in Florida.
She's like, everyone's already bought their flights. And I'm like, I'm pretty sure if there's a hurricane, they don't want to fly to be in the
I'm
middle
pretty
of
sure if
that.
there's a hurricane, they won't be flying in anyway, so you won't
Yeah,
need to
you're
worry
right.
about it.
You're right. The flights are gonna get canceled anyway. So
So
oh
Ashley's really upset, Kate. She's on her bed. She's all of a flutter. Probably because she's on her like eighth venti coffee, because she has her venti coffee in there with her from her Starbucks. And she's sat there talking to her friend. She's like, I just don't know. I just know this is so awful. My heart's going. And I'm like, yeah, the amount of caffeine, that's why your heart's going. She's like, I don't know. This has to work out. This has to work out. I'm upset that we've seen very little of her spell work. Or, we haven't seen anything.
yeah, it was kind of like they touched on that right when he moved in. And then
Yeah.
we didn't see or they didn't edit in any more of her
I mean,
stuff.
we're not even
But
getting a smudging. We haven't even
yeah,
seen that.
that's what
And
she needs to be doing right now, I think. That
as
and ordering half calf or decaf.
yeah,
Yeah.
and as I say this is what, guys. If you go into our YouTube channel, you'll be able to see this properly. That's another little plug. I have right here a mini cauldron that I have my sage in, that I just like to but have it around the pod, have it around the house, and that's my little cauldron right there. That's just what we need,
That's
guys.
really
My little
cute. I
cauldron.
love it.
So yeah, I would love to have seen, that's my complaint with Ashley. I just would have loved to have seen more of her witchy stuff. We're just not seeing it. I know she's got a hell of a lot to deal with. So love to know again with the financials. Where is the money coming from all of this? she's been funding him the entire time. So
What does she do for work again, Ashley? I
she
forgot.
does. She is I would don't know if it's medium or she works in the occult, I believe. So
Hmm.
she works as a tarot card reader.
Oh,
That's what
okay.
she does. Yeah. So maybe business was booming and she saved all her money, and it's just, you know, I really always wonder how much producers have in this. We always wonder that with the Housewives, and I tagged Kate in something that was so interesting that Bethany Frankel was talking about the Housewives trips and what producers pay for and what producers don't. Is that a DC you're drinking, Kate? What
No,
is
it's a
that right
hazy
there?
IPA.
Ah, there was Lord DC.
No, it's beer.
Um, and it's the same with this. I mean, I know they're not paying for these people's weddings. TLC is way too cheap, but
Yeah.
I would like to know if they if how all the financials. We just always want to know that. So that was them. So we're going to see next week. They'll get married, but who knows how they'll get married or where they'll get married.
I think they're gonna have to. Well, we've seen the preview. They attempt to do it on the beach, right? And then it's raining and she's freaking out. I think we saw that in the preview. So I predict that they're gonna run inside some building and be hunched in a
Okay,
room and carry
sure.
on with the ceremony, and it'll be, you know,
I imagine it more like that scene from The Craft when they all gather on the beach and then the thunderstorm comes. And that's when they all fall to the ground, all the guests and everyone will fall to the ground and they'll wake up and the whale will be beached. I mean, and all the dead dolphins. That's what I think it'll be more like.
okay, yeah, I like yours. I like your version better.
That would be much more accurate for her. What should we go over to Babe Pick and Chocolate's dad?
I kind of want to get through Sophie and
Go and do
I
it
don't
then,
want to end on them.
please. No, don't end on
Okay,
them. You're right.
there's not much to say. They have
Oh,
19 days to wed.
is that what it
They
is? 19 days.
Yeah, yeah.
All right.
And so they sit down and they rehash the same old shit. Sophie's
Mm-hmm.
breaking down and she's really upset about all this social media crap. He's posting and posting all of these really insulting memes that are clearly directed at her, and he's acting like she's crazy for being
Oh
upset
my God.
about
I saw
that. And so she's sobbing and so upset. And he says, I'm sorry for hurting your feelings over some social media posting.
that.
And I was so pissed off.
So
I'm
I
like,
know.
you
I'm so
have to
angry with that.
take your partner's feelings seriously, even if it doesn't seem like a big deal to you. Obviously, it is to her. And the fact that you can't see that and treat that with respect, it says it all. So
He just says it with so much venom to her as well. It's like, I'm sorry. You're and by the way, he is 32. And I just want to say this as well. The biggest crime in this whole conversation is that these posts were on Facebook. I don't know anyone in their 30s that's on Facebook. You are only allowed to be on Facebook starting at 50 years old. So I don't know why he's posting this on Facebook. That was shocking to me. Shocking.
that is absolutely wild.
I know.
I don't understand anything about him. So she ends up apologizing to him so they can move
Oh
it
my God.
forward. And she's
Oh no.
crying, saying the only way that things get solved is if I say sorry to you, even though she didn't really do anything. So, not that she's perfect, but in this
Okay.
situation,
I
he's
think the
just
re
not.
I think the reason it hits you and I think hits any girl, especially watching this, it's not that Rob is the devil. He's this horrible,
No,
stupid, immature man, but it's the fact that we've been 23 and been manipulated by boys, which they are, they're boys. And you're looking and you see the shit that you put up with at 23, and you look back and go, oh, I wish I'd never done that. And then you're watching it on television. And it's horrible to see this girl just go, all right, oh, it breaks my heart, Kate.
exactly. It's like reliving those
Mm-hmm.
terrible days where you would just bend to whatever someone
Always.
says because
Always.
you think that that's normal and the
Oh.
only way to move forward. So they end up getting to a place where
Yeah,
they're
what do they
gonna,
end up? I mean, what they go, okay, we're getting married. I do love you. I do want to be with you. Neither
yeah,
of them have any business being in a relationship, and especially not
no,
with each other. And that's the bottom line. He doesn't want to be in a relationship. They're going to break up. I don't know why we're wasting our time watching these two. They're not interesting. And I wrote here, they have been miserable from the second they got locked in that elevator at LAX.
Yes.
They've been miserable ever since.
Absolutely. And they're acting like, oh, well, we had this. And then, you know, I came out as bisexual and that was kind of a, you know, road bump in our relationship. It's like, are you listening to yourself?
Love.
But no one his age would ever put up with this crap. So we see next week that her mom is back and apparently going to stay at the house. And I use house loosely here with them.
No.
I thought that was shocking.
Shocking. I know. I don't even. We got a great couple of DMs this week. We always love it when you guys DM us on Instagram at 1011 Care Podcast, and especially you're always interacting with us and giving your comments about like the shows which we love, whether it's Housewives or Gossip or 90 Days. And we had a couple of DMs about where it does this supposed money come from that Sophie's family has, because they don't look like they're from money. And there was a screenshot of the mother and this whole going around the internet of like, she's supposed to come from money. There was that. And it's like, it's Kate and I have some theories, but as always, we have to save them for the live show, because if we say it on this, we'll probably get sued or get a hit put out on us. So we have to be really careful. But no, I don't. Yeah, I don't want to see any more of them. I know we will. I guess they'll get married, but that means they're getting married next episode because that's 17.
But they still have 20 days to go. So
okay.
I don't know if they're going to just wrap it up. It's like, what's going to happen in those next 2-3 weeks? So I hope they wrap it up, but I am scared they won't. Okay, so our last couple is Clayton and Annalie.
And I love this. Clayton is very much my idea when it comes to exercise and losing weight. I've got one day to lose 15 pounds. So he's like working out the day before the wedding. He's like, just trying to get rid of that last 15 pounds.
Right. Good luck, man.
So he's out there working, and Adelie kind of comments on it. And I do want to say a big shout out to one of our great listeners who sent us a TikTok that Clayton did feeding a baby pig and chocolate and feeding them in the morning. And he just posts, he's whatever he is, he's a phenomenal guinea pig dad, an animal dad. He's fantastic.
Yeah, no one can take that away from him.
No one can. So then they're sat there and it's kind of jovial, and then they get into the bachelorette, and he describes when she said, "Oh, what did you do for your bachelor party?" He's like, "Swimming and playing." Swimming and playing. I bet you are. And then she talks about the stripper. So Strippergate comes out. He just loses his mind. And listen, my thoughts on all of this, Kate, is that if you are in a relationship with somebody and it's something like a bachelorette party, and you have a really civil conversation beforehand of like, I just have a really big thing about strippers. I don't want it. I don't really find it funny. What do you think? And that other partner's like, I kind of want it, but if it really, really makes you uncomfortable, don't worry, I won't do it. And then they went out and did it. That is a betrayal. But that's not what happened here. Because he just went, I really don't want you to get a stripper. And she's like, all right, well, I'm not even organizing, whatever. His sister brought a stripper and she went along with that. And that's it. It wasn't like this conversation of like, I really, really don't want this. And her going, yeah, you're right. I don't really care either way. So I won't book them. I won't have a stripper at my party. And then she went behind his back and booked one. That would be different, and that would be nasty, and that would be betraying him. But she didn't do any of that. It happened to her. It came up. And he was very, very irate, very angry.
He was. I was like, get a grip, dude. He's like, you don't want to be with me. You want to be with another guy. He's spiraling. And it's like, what do you think happened on this party bus? You know? And I think that when he sees the footage, you know, of her laughing with the guy on her lap, he's going to be very upset. But again, it's like, what did he want her to do? What was she supposed to do? Just
swimming and playing. Swimming and playing.
Stop the bus. I have to go home and watch my fiance play Call of Duty. Like, this is not, you know, like she was just trying to be polite with the party that his sister put together. And just kind of keep the mood alive and laugh
It's just
about
not
it.
worth it's not worth an argument. She didn't
No.
give him a BJ on the bus. I mean, just let it go. Like,
No.
it's done. It's like whatever, it was silly. But they get into a tremendous argument about it.
They
And
do.
Annalie is like, I can't do this. This is not what I want for my marriage. And I cannot remember whether it was like, we'll see it next week, or we saw it in this, that they're sat outside and she's like, I just don't think I can do this. Major, I can't do this. And he goes, you're scaring me. I know that we get, when we go see next week, look, they do a lot of shit with editing, but it really looks like she doesn't turn up for the wedding, Kate.
It does. She says the words, um, I prefer to not marry him and keep him out of my life on her wedding day. So I'll be surprised if she does go through with it after seeing her say that. And I don't know. I think her thing about it and why this is making her reconsider everything. Well, she's seemingly been on the fence about the whole thing the whole
Mm,
time. She hasn't seemed super into
she
him in a
hasn't
lot
at
of the
all.
scenes.
At all.
Um, but she's like, he just has to keep I think she says he can't just accept one answer. He wants many answers. And she told him it's no big deal. Your sister organized it. I'm not cheating
Mm.
on you with strippers. And she says he can't let it go. He has to talk it to death and continue to make her feel bad until he feels better about it. And she's
Yeah.
like, I don't want to deal with that with every little thing.
I think this was the straw that broke the camel's back. I think that next week, the reason I think it's real, and I know they do all this false, editing and stuff, but you're right. She says that. You see him in his wedding outfit. No, sorry, not in his wedding outfit. His friend was in his wedding outfit, that one friend he has, and he was in a t-shirt and shorts, sat in the front row of where the wedding was about to be set up or took place, and he was crying. And his friend's comforting him, going, I know, man. Maybe it could be that he's crying beforehand because he doesn't think she'll turn up, and then she does turn up. That happens all the time. But she doesn't like him. She's been
No.
she had an idea of what he was. She's come over being completely disappointed. I think she's been got a massive realization that that mother's going nowhere.
Yep.
And she's being smart enough to not go through with the wedding and just go, this is not, I'm never going to be able to deal with this. And it's the best thing.
It would be
Otherwise, it's just going
refreshing
to
to
be,
see
yeah,
someone actually realize that and act on it on this show
I
because
know,
we've seen it time and again where they say these horrible things. I
I
mean,
know.
Gino and Jasmine, think of all the
Oh,
terrible, terrible things they have said to one another, and they're still getting married.
I know.
And so to see someone actually take action and just go back home would be great.
It would be brilliant. It would be brilliant. Um, so yes, that's all of them really. So next week, a
Mhm.
couple of them are going to get married. So I think this, and then a couple of them won't. We do see that Justin has to say goodbye to Nikki at the airport, and you
Mhm.
can literally see as he's saying goodbye to Nikki and Nikki's walking off, you can literally see the dust as he just goes boom out that airport to go and bang another girl. You can just see it. He's such a piece of shit. I love
He's like, I needed a few more seconds. No, not seconds, a few more minutes
I
with
love
Nikki.
him. I love him
Oh,
so much.
God.
So bad. And that's it for all of these for this week, guys. So I
Mhm.
do think there's gonna be probably less to say next week. But they're wrapping everything up very, very quickly. And I just hope that we don't get they cannot do a three-part tell-all. One part tell-all is all we need. That's all we need. We shall see.
Yeah.
Yeah, wishful thinking. We are going to hop off and go and record our episode for tomorrow, which is the Wheel of Shame, in which we are covering 90 Day Fiancé, the single life. That's what the Wheel of Shame picked. So come over and join us tomorrow for that. If you want extra, more content, more, you can join us on Patreon. We have a massive backlog. We back catalog, I should say, back catalog of shows that we have done extra special content only for our Patreon members, where we break down weird, wild, wonderful documentaries on pop culture, on unsolved murders, on UFOs, on cults, on unsolved crimes. It's everything's on there. So just go to patreon.com and search Tender Love and Care podcast, or go to the notes in this episode. There's a link there that's so easy. You click it, put in your details, and it is $5 a month, and you're supporting the pod. You get special personalized messages from Kate and I. And you can also support us, follow us on Instagram, 10 to 11 Care Podcast. What else, Kate?
Absolutely. I would also say if you loved like 90 Day Fiance UK season 1, we covered that entire season on there. So you could go back and listen to that if you were into 90 Day Fiance UK. And yeah, there's a ton of stuff on there. Go sign up, $5 a month, and find us on YouTube. You can see the video version of the podcast.
Smash that like button, subscribe, ring that bell, blah, 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 blah.
Just search for us, Tender Loving Care Podcast. And thank you so much for being here. We really appreciate you guys so much.
We do. We love you so much. And we are going to see you tomorrow for 90 Day Fiancé Single Life. Bye-bye.
Bye.